What's up, guys? Sexuality here with another look at some of the figures we got this week. Today we're looking at the Storm Arena Street Fighter Alpha 3 Dan figure. Now, this guy, like I said, with Nash, he was also in my power loot, so I was actually excited to get him. He's kind of, for me, like as a Street Fighter fan, I don't know about this guy. I never really liked him too much. But the figure itself looks cool, and like I said, I love Storm Arena. Anything that comes out of Street Fighter, I'm gonna get. So, basically, I mean, Dan is. I know some of the backstory. Of course, his name is cool because that's my first name. But I mean, he's just kind of like a goofy character. But definitely have to have him in the line. As you can see, he comes in the standard Storm Arena packaging with the character portrait in the front. You got that the ASMS meter on the bottom there, and then you got the figure here inside, and then of course on the side you have another portrait of him, and then everything cool that he comes with. But like I said, very off the brand figure. This one probably was easy for them to make, and I can see why, because he's just basically everything reuse of Ryu and Ken, exception of his face, and of course just a little bit of difference, but I'm sure I understand why they did that. But anyway, let's get this guy out of the packaging and get a closer look at the Storm Arena Dan figure from the Street Fighter Alpha 3 series. All right, here's Dan out of the packaging. Also looking really cool. I mean, these figures are just so awesome. I really like the Storm Arena, and I'm really hoping they finish the whole line. I hope they don't just veer off track and just give us, I mean, if you're just going to give us the main roster, that means we'll get a Honda. I'll be so excited for that. Hopefully we do. Because, I mean, there are some previews of other figures. And I pre-ordered Akuma already. And then Chun-Li. So we just got a couple more reviews coming. Hopefully I know they're going to do a Balrog. And they're definitely doing Zangief. And Cammy. I can't wait for Cammy. I'm excited about Cammy. Because, I really dig that character. Anyway, so as you can see, this is basically all reuse of Ryu and Ken. The body, now the color is kind of like a salmon color, kind of like a pinkish color on the whole robe and pants. Then he has a black shirt underneath. Let's get a closer look. So here's his face sculpt, and just like Nash, he has that kind of one, parts of the hair sticking out a different way, so it's him. I mean, and he has that ponytail. The little strap matches the outfit. So, and then of course we go down to the body. Of course, same body as Ryu and Ken. I mean, they painted the mid portion black because he was wearing a black shirt underneath. So that's one thing that sticks out to him. He has a black belt right there, and then on his arms, his gloves are this basically regular brown color, and then going down, and of course you have the feet, and like I said, just like the other figures, the articulation is just so smooth with this guy. I mean, it's the same thing as the other ones, but it's so smooth, and there's so much posability you can do with this guy. If you really wanted to pose them in different ways. I mean, this is just super, super awesome on how, you can just pose them and just do different things. And that's one thing I really like. I love about this line. And it's just so smooth, and it just transitions so easily. All right, so he doesn't come with a whole lot, but he comes with, of course, he does throw a fireball. Hold on. Am I missing a hand? Oh, there it is. I was like, I'm not missing anything. I know there's a fireball. So he does have fireball hands. And the fireball is just like this little blue speck, which is kind of funny. Let me zoom back to where I had it. Here we go. And then he has, I have no idea idea what these hands do, but you know, they're really cool. I'm going backwards. Oops. And then he has, I guess, some little gripping hands too, which are pretty neat. And then his other head sculpt, which is pretty cool, because, you know, I like that head sculpt too. A lot of the yelling head sculpt on there. So really nice. I mean, there's so many cool details to these figures. And then he does have an effect. I don't have it. I have the effect, but I don't have the stand. It's, you know, because I don't have any room for all these to put this, you know, one day I'll have more room where I can, you know, pose all this, but that's just Fireball, you know, smaller than Ryu's and Ken's. And where are Ryu's and Ken's? Huh. Did they have a Fireball? I don't know. Hold on. Oh yeah. Let me see. Here's the what the other Fireball, the main Fireball for Ryu is. So it is smaller. That one is smaller. So yeah. All right. So let's get this guy. My turntable just stopped working, so I need to get a new one. I'm gonna invest in more stuff coming up, but anyway, I'll get him posed out so we can get our final thoughts on the Stormarina Dan figure from Street Fighter Alpha 3. All right, here are my final thoughts on Dan, and I just put that head sculpt on him, and he looks super awesome. That's actually a freaking cool pose. I really like him. I really like that. So, you know, like I said, this is one of those characters that I would skip over. I just thought he was silly, especially in Street Fighter 4. I just was like, what is this weirdo? Like, I never really got into him, and maybe I'll play with him, like play as him now, maybe. But he's still a big goof. But I really like this guy. Like, I like the way they did him, you know, and I'm glad I got him. And luckily I got the other version too that's coming out, that Hong Kong event. I'm glad my hookup has got me. And he's actually gotten a lot of figures. I could have had the G.I. Joe Classified, the earlier wave that just released. And even I think Destro, I probably could have got that early. But considering the pricing of shipping and the freaking stupid tariff nonsense, I didn't grab them. But of course, these that are exclusive to Japan, I'm getting. So it should be here soon, so I will do a review on those two when they get here. But this one is really cool. I really like him. I really love how, you know, he's different with that black shirt. The colors are beautiful. He's just great, and I'm happy that he's part of my collection. Do you guys collect the Storm Arena figures? There's some more coming. I don't know what's going on with the Street Fighter 2 line, the regular one, because we're still missing a few. I'm hoping that we get some more reviews of trying to finish that line, because I really want to finish that. But anyways, the Storm Arena characters are really cool. They're affordable. Right now, I believe, I'm not sure if he's in stock, but I think you can still get him or pre-order him on, I think he's in stock on Big Bad Toy Store from what I understand. I think, I'm not too sure, but that's where I got him. Hopefully, if you get, you guys got to get these when they come out, because if not, once they sell out, they're gone. All right, let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and we will see ya later. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, share, and subscribe.